treat it as a business. It's not a weekend warrior. You're not doing it for a $200 comp extra money on the weekend. You need to take it serious. It is your business.
There you go, Susan. Are you on the floor?
I am on the floor. It's nice and quiet.
Excellent. Excellent. Hold on. I got a few of your crew coming in, I think.
Yep. We all divided and conquered and up on the third floor and just trying to find our spots.
Excellent. There we go. All right. So we got Galaxy S21 and there's Michael.
Galaxy is Chandler.
Okay. We'll let everybody come in here. All right. So did you guys go out for breakfast this morning?
After this.
Okay, well, we'll keep it. Well, I'm not gonna make it short and sweet. We're gonna keep you here as long as I possibly can because I think you got some good stuff to tell us. I'd like to thank you guys. This is Susan Lorimer and family, or do we got an employee here too?
We have one employee, Chandler. Yes.
Okay, hi Chandler. And is Michael's your son? I think I saw pictures of him before. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
I think we put you on the website, Michael. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We got the Easter Bunny coming in, whoever that is.
That's probably my husband. When we did the virtual calls, we used his phone for Zoom. So of course.
Excellent.
We need to switch that Santa Claus here soon.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got the whole crew. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Big House Fun. Is it Big Fun Bounce House? I keep getting it.
You almost had it the first time. Big Bounce Funhouse Rentals.
There it is. That's it. Yeah. So, Susan, my interest is that number one, you have now. Are you and your husband partners in this, or?
We've been partners for life, Dave. We started working together when I was 16.
Excellent. So you guys got to have a great, strong relationship because, usually married couples in the same business, that's like fireworks, 4th of July. So how do you guys balance that? And Easter Bunny or Fritz, the Easter Bunny, your name's Steve, isn't it?
Nope, it's Andy.
Andy, I'm sorry, I got you mixed up with somebody else. Pam. Yeah, Pam's husband. Andy, so I'd like to hear your perspective first, being a man myself. And I've done this where I had a business with my wife, so I know the challenges. Tell me about how you guys balance that, the workday.
Well, basically, we have our things that we do best. She answers the phone, does the quotes, does all of that kind of thing. I'm out on the jobs or in the warehouse, maintaining things, keeping the vehicles going, that sort of thing. So we have our specific things we do, and then we come together to do events together as well.
So do you guys have cutoff points during your day where you don't talk business, or is it like free for all?
A few years ago, because we had a tree service as well, while the Bounce House company was growing, and we were working 7 days a week. So we just came together and decided one day a week, we need to have a date day where we do just cut everything off and go see a movie, have lunch, do whatever, and just have a day to ourselves so that we have some sort of a weekend. It would usually be a Tuesday or a Wednesday. That would be our weekend. But yeah, you're exactly right. There are times when we say, okay, put the phones away. We just need to concentrate on us.
Yeah, I know. I used to, I had two companies. I had a manufacturing company, which is how I actually got into the party rental business and how I knew so much about it. I've always been a computer geek myself, but I kind of got into helping my clients because this was many years ago at the start of the internet. Believe it, guys. I know you guys are pretty young, so you probably don't remember when there wasn't an internet. And we actually just had black and white TVs. And the phones were plugged into the wall. at that time, I was doing websites and it started getting busier and busier, and I was doing that stuff at home, right? So especially in the web development business, we work 24/7 all the time. We've got some kind of project going on somewhere in the world. And I don't know, I'm going to say like about 6 years ago, it got to be too much, as far as lifestyle. And I said, okay, I went out, got a building, moved the web development into the building so that I could actually stop working at 6 p.m. and go home. And then it was done. It was no more of that. So Susan, tell me about your role. Now Big Bounce Funhouse is kind of a different format in the party rental business. You guys do a lot of the big events and really there's a lot of event planning going on in that. Is that your cup of tea for putting those events together?
Absolutely. I love it. If you receive my emails, which I know you do, we're in communication a lot.
Right.
CEO Fun is how I kind of do my closings. Absolutely. It is so important for us to be able to talk to the customer and just learn about their events. I don't feel that our company is a cookie cutter company where, okay, you just want a bounce house. I want to talk to you. What else are you doing there? What's the age groups coming in? Let's not forget, the older people that are going to be there that may not want to bounce in a bounce house, but hey, they might want a massage chair for them. So I think that's a misconception a lot that people have of just bouncy house for our company. And why wouldn't you, right? With the logo and the name, that's a whole nother story in itself. We never thought that we would, or never envisioned or dreamed we would be where we are today and doing everything that we do. We had the vision of bouncy houses, but it has grown into so much more and evolved over the time. I'm sure, but my kids are on there. Jacob and Michael can tell some stories too of just watching from their perspective. They started with us when, they were in car seats and today they're, young adults.
Right.
So it has been fun, most definitely. And yes, that is my cup of tea. I want to talk to you. I want to help you plan, and I want to give you ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of yet. And that's just from years of experience and being around the business and seeing how things are done and offering that opportunity of knowledge.
Tell me about whose idea was it to do this in the first place? I was just going in the Wayback Machine here on the internet trying to find the first presentation of Big House or Big Bounce Funhouse. I'll get it right. Yeah, it's a mouthful. And it looked like around 2007, I saw the first website pop up. Is that about the right time that you guys were getting started?
That's correct. We actually started in May of 2006, and it was Susan's idea. Susan and I had been talking about how many children we were going to have. We'd had our fourth child, Michael, and we had decided to stop having kids. And then we thought, is there another complementary business we can do along with the tree service we were running at the time to help, our family as well. And she came up with the idea at my 40th birthday party, actually, to rent a bounce house. And we couldn't really find one in the area. And when we did find one, they wanted as much for delivery as they did the rental, which now I can understand.
Yeah.
But at the time, it's like, she said, why don't we just buy our own and start renting it out? Because she did have some experience with bounce houses. She had worked for a grand rental station, which had tools and wedding supplies and bounce houses as well. So I said, sure, buy two. Let's go. Let's do it. And that's how it started. We bought two bounce houses and a truck just for that business, and started going around on the weekends with our four kids and delivering bounce houses.
That's excellent. Excellent. And how long do you think it took you? And the focus of my questions a lot today are going to be about inspiring these new people that come in. Excuse me. Every year, there's anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 new party rental companies that come into the market, and just as many go out of business right away, because it's that first year or two trying to get through that hump of actually turning it into a profitable business that people find the hardest part. Tell me about your struggles of getting it to pay and turning it into a business.
Most
Is that-
definitely. You want to go ahead?
No, go ahead.
You can chime in here. I think, we didn't let the tree service go. We still worked that business. Andy was very dedicated and is very dedicated to his home, his family, God, putting it all together and making it work. So we always had the tree service to fall back on as well. We grew the party rental side slowly, tried to with cash as much as we could and going along the way. So that made a huge difference. The perspective of, I would say, safety while we're doing the jobs, just really getting our focus of what was important to us. The old saying where they say, pick three: quality, price, or service. Yes, price is important, but we focused more on the quality and the service of our company and those that we've hired and to make up our team.
Now you guys are located just outside the Indianapolis area. Is that right?
We are.
Yeah. So are you north or south or east or west, or which part of town are you in?
We're west.
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 Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at that time, I imagine, Andy, that you were running stuff around with a truck or a trailer and trying to get things moving around. When was it before you decided that you needed employees and you needed more vehicles, or the logistics started to become more of an issue for you?
It was really, I'd say probably the third year. The third year we're in business, because we just had the 2 bounce houses the first year. The second year we bought an 18-foot slide with a pool at the end and a joust arena, and then a popcorn machine, snow cone machine. But that's about all we had for the second year. And then it was the third year when somebody told us about IAAPA, which we still were clueless. We didn't know. It's like, oh, okay, there's a whole organization of this going on. Let's go learn. So we learned a lot. We bought 8 more units when we came down to our first IAAPA show. And that year we got into doing post proms. And that's when we got into needing help for the high school post proms, the through the night type of parties and things like that. So it was the third year before we started doing that. But just like Susan said, as far as growing the business, it took a few years before we did start growing a little faster. But then when we did, we were able to basically live on the tree service and then just take any money that came in with Big Bounce and just kept expanding by cash. And that really did help a lot to not really live on it. It was really till 2017 before we ever started taking any profit. So it was like our 11th year of business before we started taking any profit from Big Bounce Funhouse Rentals.
Well, that was good for you guys that you had the tree service, to fall back on. I live up here in northern Michigan, so tree service companies are something we deal with on a daily basis. We live up in the woods. On my property alone, we hacked out a spot to build our house, and we're constantly doing tree management. And we're actually building another house right now, and it's something that these guys up here, I mean, you got to wait 4 to 5 weeks before you can even get them to come out because they're so busy with the tree stuff. So tell me about how you guys decide what's the next area. Well, probably it's different now because having worked on your website, I know you've got just a ton of categories and products and stuff like that. But at a certain point, early on, there was probably a lot of debate about what to buy next and when you could buy it, you know, to have the revenue to buy it and how much to buy. How did you go through that process early on, and how has it changed now?
Oh,
Go ahead,
I
Susan.
think I can answer that easily. I sell and then I tell Andy what we need to buy. Okay, all jokes aside there, kind of. It is definitely talking to the customers, seeing what you keeping up with IAAPA. And I'll tell you, you know, Jacob and Michael here on the phone, meeting here with us, getting their opinion, talking to our kids. They've worked the business, they're with us, they talk to their friends, you know, their input is important to us, and that's some of the reasons why they're here with us and have been. Jacob is on his fourth IAAPA. Michael, I think, is his second, and Chandler, who's with us, also, this is his first. So it is definitely talk, go to these classes, put the fillers out there, and the marketing, seeing what people want. We try to stay ahead of our industry for that reason.
So Chandler, this is your first IAAPA. You're getting kind of an easy entrance into the IAAPA situation because of COVID and whatnot. This particular show was slower than usual. I can tell you that as a fact. I've been I don't know, I think I got my 15-year pin as an exhibitor at IAAPA, so I've seen it all. But I know this year was a little slower because, number one, the international people couldn't get in there. But tell me about what'd you think about walking through those aisles and seeing all that stuff?
You're muted, Chandler.
Chandler, you're on mute.
Okay. How about now?
You're good.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no, it is very, very neat being able to walk through somewhere where you have so many people in the same industry, you know, being able to talk to somebody and you know, not BS. Oh, so what do? You just blow them up?
Yeah.
So that's really neat, and being able to see all of these new things and really just experience more of the industry as a whole,
right.
Has been very impressive to me. Even as I've heard that this is a much smaller year, very, very impressed.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I think that a lot of people get into the bounce house business, which is why a lot of people drop out of the bounce house business, because they get into it and they think, oh, this is great. We just buy a couple of bounce houses and blow them up, leave them, boom, we're in. We're making a couple $100 a pop. That's easy money. Then they realize, no, it's hard work. What's your role, Chandler, at the company?
Yeah, so I guess my best title would maybe be somewhere along the lines of warehouse manager. I guess is what I've heard a few times. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some tech stuff, loading stuff, and going out leading crews and that kind of thing, and maybe having discussions with Susan and Andy about certain issues or maybe certain future decisions. I like to have the option to put a little input in there, and so yeah, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, you're probably going to want to drill down on that roll situation there. I saw Andy roll his eyes there for a second going, what? I'm just teasing you. So tell me, I got Jacob and Michael here. What's your first memory of the company? Because you guys were pretty young at that time.
Oh, okay. So my first memory of the company, this isn't an actual event, but we used to have a little white van. We called it the creeper van.
Yeah.
All right. And basically the kids would ride in the back, the parents are up front, but whenever the doors were closed, there was a divider behind the two back seats. And whenever they would close that divider, it would be pitch black in the back. And so I just remember all the kids riding back there, and then, the parents think it's funny and they close that door and it's all pitch black. And now the kids are all screaming on their way to the event to set up some bounce houses.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and I remember just being in elementary school and going to work like a post prom or something. And I'm getting to tell all these high school students what to do, and be able to yell at them. And what are they going to say? Nothing.
Excellent. So Jacob, are you the older brother or the younger brother here?
I'm the older brother.
Okay. What was your experience like when the company came around?
My earliest memories of the company, I remember whenever we got the first 2 bounce houses and we were operating out of our garage. I remember whenever we bought the bounce house the first time, it was in our front yard for like 2 weeks straight. Our cousins were some of our first employees. So they would be operating in and out of the garage, loading or unloading a bounce house, depending on the delivery schedule. I started working more often whenever we built a pool barn to keep more of the inflatables in. And then from there, it's just been go, go, go with work. And I've rode along for every progression of the company that's happened so far.
Excellent. So were you guys the popular kids at school because you had all the fun stuff out back?
Pretty much where we live.
Yeah, our birthday parties were the best.
I bet. I bet. So tell me about your culture. So it sounds like it's been a big family thing for you guys. I talked with Jim and Sal at Busy Bee Jumpers yesterday, and they are, they're well known for their corporate culture because they have, I think they're over 100 people now on their staff and things like that, and they have this very team-oriented thing. Tell me a bit about your culture. And it can be Susan, you or Andy, whoever wants to jump in on this. I'm interested in how you manage or let's say grow your culture at Big Bounce Funhouse, and how you manage that situation and keep the enthusiasm with employees.
Andy, you or me?
Go ahead, because I would just say fear and intimidation. So you probably have a better answer.
So we got the good cop and the bad cop. Susan, you must be the good cop.
Most days. And he is too.
I'm joking.
So definitely, I feel like we're talking pre-COVID and post-COVID here in this conversation.
Yeah, this is a little unusual period of time, but just in general, yeah.
In general, we are mostly corporate. Again, last year was a little bit different, but we have always just tried to get out on social media, the marketing aspect of it, calls, follow up. IO is great. Our website. It's important to have a good website guy. Wink, 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 Dave.
Mm-hmm.
getting everything together. As far as employees go, we try to do, again, pre-COVID, some initiatives for the employees, especially those who have been around a long time with different benefits for them. But for those that turn over, we see them come in, come out. We definitely still want them to be excited. We still want them to learn the business, and the safety of the business and what they do is very important, right? Watching these activities. So we do try to take them to, we've done ball games before. We have our Christmas parties. We've done swim parties. We do open houses where we bring in the customers, but even though the employees are working, it's a fun time for them, getting to visit with everyone and just making sure that relationship is there, that our clients do know our staff and know them by name. We work with Santa Claus a lot. So when companies hire us for Santa Claus, it's important for them to get Santa's bio to let them know who they're going to get. On our website, you'll see our main staff there, meet our staff. So we want our clients to feel just as that they know our staff as we do, and let our staff know that you are important to our team. It does take our whole team to do what we do, because we just can't be everywhere at the same time.
tell me something. When was there a moment during the history of Big Bounce? Was there a moment where the light went on where you said, well, this is kind of a two-pronged question. Was there something that you realized that, oh man, we really blew it on this? And then when was there a time where the light went on and said, oh, this is where we need to be?
Andy, go ahead.
Well, we've definitely made some decisions on things that we bought that did not rent, for sure.
Mhm.
Susan, help me. I'm trying to remember what our worst case was that just
Right.
sat. What's that?
Probably the phone case.
Oh, yeah. Phone cases where you could make a picture of yourself and put your any picture you wanted on the back of the phone, and all these different phone cases. Yeah, that it never. Yeah, it went out once, I think.
Yeah.
It was a $5,000 investment that never panned out. But mostly, we use software that helps let us know what our ROI is on certain things. So
Mhm.
we can see as we grow, and now as I in particular get older and older, it's like, what is our best ROI? What are we getting our most gross profit on? And what's still easy to do for someone who's getting older? Although back to the employee thing, I've always tried to give the employees, especially the ones who work more hours and are generally there all the time, uh, more freedom to actually do the main work, drive the trucks and trailers. I don't know how many teenagers I've taught to drive a truck and a trailer so that they are able to feel a sense of satisfaction on they were able to go to a job and deliver it, and teaching them how to use the bungee trampolines. And just, I think Chandler at this point has taken one of our newest, most expensive items, an LED screen, and I think he's been out on more jobs than I have with it now. So you just have to. I hope that at least helps them have a sense of value and worth in the company, because we do trust them with all these very sensitive and expensive things, and with our customer satisfaction too, for going out and representing the company. So I hope that at least helps to build a culture where they are happy in their workplace.
Excellent. I'm going to have both of you guys answer this particular question, because obviously we're here to help inspire other new companies. And I know, Susan, you're involved in the Women of Vinyl group, which is a new growing group on social media. Guys, tell me about, well, don't tell me. What would you say to a newbie that's going to be getting into the business? What are the most important things that they need to hang on to, stick with, and follow through on?
For me, that's easy. You treat it as a business. It's not a weekend warrior. You're not doing it for a $200 pop extra money on the weekend. You need to take it serious. It is your business. You make sure that you're insured. You run it as a business, and then you grow it as you can. Don't fall back that this is the only thing you're doing, or like I said, it's quick, easy money, because it isn't. It is a business.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
For me, I would say know your expenses, write them down. I think people a lot of times think, well, I went out and I was able to make $25 an hour. That's great. Were you really? Once you count your space that you use, heating, all your gasoline, and not only that, don't forget that the company needs to make money, not just you. You need to separate yourself out and say, at some point, it's not going to be me. It's going to be an employee. So that employee needs to make money. And then the company, Big Bounce Funhouse Rentals, needs to make a profit as well. It's not the same thing. Even if I'm the same person, it's still not the same thing. So that needs to be in your expenses. And know your expenses. And we've never tried to compete on price. We always try to compete on value instead, service and quality. because there's always going to be somebody out there who's willing to do it for less money. So when you know your expenses, it helps you to be able to say, no, I'm not going to rent that bounce house for $75 or $99 or whatever in a particular situation, because that actually will cost me money by the time we do everything, bring it back and clean it again before it goes out again. So knowing your expenses and not competing on price are two of the main things we've always done.
Right. And we do the same thing here, you know, with my company. It's never about the cost of the actual, you know, doing a website, you know, it's all that stuff that happens after the website is built, you know, the care and feeding to make sure that it's successful. Now, Andy, you appear, at least, and I may be wrong, but you appear to be the numbers guy in the group. Would that be correct?
No.
You guys
Susan knows more
both
than numbers.
watch those. Good. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. What do you think is going to be the new growth area for the company?
Well,
You want to here? Look,
Well-
let Jacob, Michael,
okay, go ahead.
Jacob, take it.
Go, Jacob. Yeah.
Big area of growth that we're seeing right now is LED screen outdoor movies. Just because you can use LED screen for more than just showing a movie. We brought it to a marathon, and they could have timestamp or messaged from friends and family that's there. And then LED screen kind of changed the outdoor movie industry, because you can do movies during now. So that piece of equipment growth than it.
Okay, you were breaking up a little bit there on us, Jacob. If you could get a little closer to your microphone, I got a follow-up question here for you. When you send out an LED screen, I would imagine there's sometimes where just the screen goes out, but it's really more of like a package, isn't it? Because some of those events can get rather large and things of that nature.
Yep. A lot of the times it is just the screen. We had an event a few months ago that did the screen, and they also did the Axe trailer. So larger events, corporate events, entertainment events for adults instead of just kids. We've been seeing more growth there than the backyard party area.
Mm-hmm. So when they go out, are you doing what's the most common thing that it goes out for? I know the mobile pop-up drive-in is one thing, but are people showing just a lot of movies, or are they using it to reproject an event or something like that, like a band with a background, or speakers with large LED screens?
Yeah, the event we did a couple months ago, the one that had the Axe, was for a blues concert in Brownsburg, and we filmed them as they were performing, and then right beside the stage, the musicians were on screen, so everyone in the back could have as good of a view as the people in the front. So it can be used for that. It is mostly movies. And a lot of drive-ins. I'd say drive-ins are the most popular use.
Tell me about when people are doing the movies, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about. And we've actually tried helping people that are getting into like the inflatable movie screens and these LEDs about the licensing. When you're showing a movie, at an event like that, you have to get the licensing for it. How active are you guys in doing that, or do you let the customers just handle it?
I'll let one of my parents take that.
Susan, take over.
Yeah, we are very that whenever we are talking to our customers who say that they want to do a movie, again, that's the say, I want to talk to them. I want to find out. So I start asking them all sorts of questions of what movie are they showing? Do they know about movie license? Are they charging? I'm not the movie licensing company at all, but I am an educator for them, and our name is there as well. So yes, the short answer is they do need their movie license if they're doing a public event like that. And at that point, I will either tell them, I will tell you how to do it yourself. I'll give you the website to go to. I'll tell you the people to talk to, or we will do it for you and hold their hand. If we do it for them and hold their hand, what we do is I reach out to the movie license company and I talk to them. I let them know exactly who the customer is, how many people they're expecting, what date, what movie, and they give me a price. They're not giving me any special deal. They're giving me the same price that they give you. And then Big Bounce, our Fun Flicks, which is our company as well, we'll take that same number and say, here you go. This is what it is. If you want us to continue the process and fill out the paperwork for you, we charge an administration fee to do that. But for you, it's a one-stop shop if you so choose to do that, and totally turnkey event. So we show up, we'll do the movie, we'll have the movie for you. We'll run the entire movie, stay there for you, and then, you know, we take the movie back and we get your movie license. So at anything that we do with our company, whether it's what type of events, whether it's inflatables, mechanics, outdoor movies, entertainers, we will do as much or as little as you'll allow us to do. Sky's the limit, we can trim it down. So it just, again, I want to talk to those people and figure out how we can help. You know, for us, obviously we want to make a profit. Obviously we want the bottom line to be there, but it's more important to have that one-on-one with a conversation with that customer and keep them and help them and let them have the one person contact that can take care of their whole event and follow up and make sure that we keep following up with them, because we want to be there next year for you too.
Right.
We have always told our staff, you know, you guys do this every day, day in and day out, but to our customer, this is their once a year event that they've spent, you know, 6 months, 8 months planning. And then here's the night. I understand you may have done the cha-cha slide at 4 p.m. with a customer, but when you do that cha-cha slide again at 8 p.m. with another customer, you have as much fun as you did earlier, and just keep the enthusiasm up.
I'm curious, just because that's one thing I just never got into myself, was how do they price a license? I mean, how much does it cost to do a movie night, you know, where I mean, how much does Tom Hanks get when they run Toy Story, you know?
That's a loaded question, and I wish that I could give you a straight up answer.
Does it vary by the amount of people and the size of the event? Okay. All right.
So
Great.
it depends on the amount of people at the event. It depends on what movie it is. And it also depends on if it's an anniversary year of the movie. You know, if they're trying to promote it, anniversary movie, that price may go up. And then what a lot of people do not realize is you just can't pick a movie title and show it publicly, first off, without getting the license. But the movie company titles will actually put a stop or a blackout on some movies. For instance, Top Gun right now, you can't show it because they're working on another Top Gun. So, you know, always talk out those logistics. I think that's interesting. A scary thing for some people, but it's not scary. You just have to have that relationship there with a movie license company, and it's easy to do. So talk to your friends. We'll help you.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was like you just go buy a fishing license, you pay your $25 and you got your license. But it sounds a lot more involved. It's probably very good that you're helping people, you know, facilitate that. Michael, I have a question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Probably you and Jacob, because at some point, you know, you can see I'm an older guy. I'm getting ready to retire, so I'm prepping my company for the next generation to take over in the next few years. Right. At some point, we're going to just be talking to you and Jacob. And so tell me something. I'm sure you guys have been around the block a few times now, even though you're still really young. What are your hopes for Big Bounce House? You know, what do you have a secret vision? And mom, dad, put your fingers in your ears right now, because they're going to dream a little bit. What do you guys see for the future of the company when you're calling the shots?
Yeah, so for me, I think just moving more into specialty items and getting out to, not saying that we don't already do big jobs, but going out and just taking it to the next level. And again, with the quality of the service. But as far as it is for me with the company, honestly, I'd love to come back and work for them, but I don't want to run it.
Okay.
I've seen what it takes, and I know I could do it if I needed to, but I would just rather be an employee for it and just come back every now and then.
Well, that may change in a few years. How about you, Jacob?
It may.
I also think that we should go more in the directions of specialty items.
Now, when
Maybe
you guys say specialty items, what do you refer to as a specialty item? Like the axe throwing thing or something like that, or
right, like not a bounce house, something mechanical, something that will make a lot of money with one rental. So I think if we could have inventory of enough of those items, and then just another part of the vision is to streamline as much as possible from the customer placing their order to the employee that goes out on the order, just to have as much automated as possible and remove myself from the process as much as possible. Not have to spend time every day on working out the details.
Good. That's great. So we're going to wrap this up here, guys. I know you guys want to get back into the show. Have you bought anything yet?
We have it. It's a surprise. Stay tuned.
All right. Well, I'm sure I'll hear about it first as soon as you guys get home, so we can get it up on the website. Thanks so much. I love having the whole family here. It's been a real interesting chat, and I'm sure people are going to find it fun. We'll be reposting this as soon as we process the videos and stuff from the show. Any last things that you want to tell us about your excitement for the coming season?
You know, as far as being excitement, that this goes back to a conversation before, but this is something that popped in my mind. You know, we're proud of our kids, right? As far as being a family, we used to go out together as a family, and that's great. And it's awesome when we can still do it. But at this point, you know, all of our kids are driving and leading crews themselves. So it's a real treat when we're together. But we were talking about, you know, Chandler taking the screen, and, you know, you're really trusting certain people with this amount of money and to go and do these events. But two quick stories. You know, Jacob has been driving the trucks and trailers since a very young age. And we've relied on him to drive the big trucks and trailers and go lead those crews. But Michael as well, even before he had his driver's license, now I didn't say his permit, but his license, he would have his permit, which means he could drive by himself. Or with
and I'd have that truck and trailer.
But we would have to send Michael with just his permit with a truck and trailer to go deliver something, and maybe have the employees who are old enough to drive but couldn't drive the truck and trailer in another carpool situation because they couldn't drive the truck and trailer. So here we have someone with a permit driving it and taking care of things with the other chaser car behind it. I think he just came home probably 2 weeks ago or so, Michael, and he was telling a story of an older gentleman who couldn't back up his truck and trailer. Michael, just
he had to have me do it for him.
How about you, Andy? You looking forward to the start of the season?
Yes, and just to kind of elaborate on what Jacob was saying on the specialty items, we do have some things that other typical bounce house companies may not have, which is, again, large LED screens on trailers, and now over 8,000 square feet of synthetic ice that we take and do rinks all over the Midwest with. So those are probably the future direction of our company. And also, Jacob has bought his own rock wall and his own bot boxer, which are two items that he has. So he's actually started to actually become more of an entrepreneur on his own in that way too.
That's great. That's exciting. Well, congratulations on making it all work as a family. You guys have been real interesting to talk to and entertaining as well. So I wish you all the luck for this upcoming season. Enjoy the show. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon as we get ready to open up the season on the website.
Thanks,
Okay.
Dave.
All right. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Bye.